Hello, my name is Andrew from Terrytown, and welcome to your Catalina 30 RKDS. I'm just going to be starting right up front here with your front power tongue jack. So you have it up and down there. You have a light just in case you do need to hook up at night. And then worst case, if this ever electrically goes out, you can go ahead and peel this little back tab up here. And then that is then going to open the chance to manually override it. I believe it's a 3/4 inch socket, so you can go ahead and do that. Or at least a 3/4 inch bit. There we go. So right here, I'm trying to tuck that back. So you have your two propane tanks. Whichever way your regulator is pointing, this little piece here is going to be, of course, whichever propane tank it uses. But when there is propane going through, you'll see that little green thing there. When there's no propane going through, it'll turn red. So when you see that, either these are off or it has ran out. So then that's when you go ahead and flick it to the other side. Right back here is going to be your battery. Then your battery disconnect. The green means that there's power going through, so your battery to the inside of your camper. And when it's red, that means you cut the power off from the battery to the inside of the camper. Moving on, you just have your pass-through storage here. Down here. And then right in here, we're going to be walking to your sewer system here. So you have your gray tank pull, and you're gonna have your black tank. So your black tank is going to be for your sewer and sewage, everything like that. So when you go ahead and open that up, it's going to drain straight out that middle pipe, and of course drain out your sewer hose. But what I recommend is leaving that open, because of course there's gonna be solids and stuff that get stuck. So leaving that open, putting a pressurized hose into that little black tank there, or that black tank flush, and that is going to then flush out your black tank and make sure any of the stuff that got stuck gets flushed out. So when you're done, just go ahead, take your hose out, close up your black tank, and then I recommend opening your gray tank second, just because it's the cleanest water out of the two, so it's gonna help kind of flush out your sewer hose before you go ahead and put your hands back on there. Otherwise, right up here is going to be your city water connection. So when you do get to a campground, this is gonna be your main water source here. Just go ahead and plug your campground hose right in there. Right on here is going to be your outside shower. So you're going to have the hot, cold side of the lines, and then you're going to have your shower head and hose all inside of here. Right here is going to be the cable and satellite input. And then back here is just going to be another gray tank drain. So like I mentioned, black is sewage, and then gray is going to be for showers and sinks. So right here is going to be your fresh tank or freshwater connection. So this is just for portable water. So if you're rustic camping or camping out in the middle of nowhere, you are able to then fill this up beforehand and take the water with you. I don't recommend driving with it. I just recommend, like for an example, for national parks, they'll usually have like a little spigot or spout on the outside that you could fill this up before you go in. I would recommend, that's what I mean by taking it right before you go in. So just fill that up, and then just like I said, big tank inside your system that you need your water pump to access that. And then for that drain, that is going to be right, of course you can't see it from right here, but we'll try to zoom in on it. It's that little piece there. That is going to be your fresh tank drain. So you just twist that little knob, and that is of course going to drain your fresh tank. Just to the right of that, the hot and cold lines there are going to be for your hot and cold side of your, restart that. Those two are going to be your low point drains. So that's the two lowest points on your hot and cold lines. So when you do go to eventually empty those, or put your camper away, to empty all that, you just go ahead and open those up. And then right here is going to be your main power connection here, 50 amp service. Right there is going to be an LP quick connect. So if you ever decide to put like a small grill or griddle or something out here, you can get propane through that little piece there. Little outside fridge. And right here's your water heater. So your water heater contains this little anode rod. This is going to protect your tank, so all the hard water will eat at this rather than your tank. So eventually this is going to deteriorate, so you're going to need to replace it. And it's all kind of on personal preference. Whenever you think about 50% is when you're going to want to replace this. But moving forward, this goes right inside of there. Make sure that's nice and tight. And then go to the inside of your camper and turn on the hot side of the faucet. So this is then going to start to create pressure and push all the air out. So your hot side of the faucet is going to sputter for a little bit, but like I said, it's just all the extra air getting pushed out. So once that is in nice and tight, and you have a steady flow of water coming out the hot side of your faucet, you can go ahead and then turn this on. And then when it comes to empty it, just go ahead and pull this little tab here. That's your pressure release valve, so it's going to hiss. And then when it's done hissing, go ahead and take this out, and then all the water will drain right out of that little hole there. Sorry about the tractor starting. You have your leash link here, and you have your furnace exhaust. So when your furnace is on, all the extra heat is going to be kicked out of here. And then like I showed you before, your low point drains back there. You're gonna have your 110 outlets there, and then a cable satellite input. If you do just have like a small TV outside, you're able to access that. Other than that, this is just gonna be the other side of your storage. You're gonna have a 25-foot drinking hose here, 110 adapter, just in case you do need to plug this into your house at any point. Then of course, your sewer hose, which I do recommend getting a better one anyway. Opening this up, make sure your door is completely open. Otherwise, you just twist this little yellow handle like that. Make sure these little metal pieces are out behind the frame. You can kind of see it moving right there in the corner. Go ahead and pull that out. I'm doing this with one hand, so that's why I kind of let it drop, but obviously you would put it down more slowly. Inside here, you have your interior and exterior lights, and you have all of your fresh tank, black tank, everything like that. So these are just gonna be your readers. So fresh tank reader, battery reader, and then your black tank readers, and your gray tank readers. Slide out one, oh, wrong way. Pull out. That noise you heard, don't worry, it's nothing bad. That was just the motor reaching its limit. So it does that when it is completely fully extended, and when it's fully in, it's gonna do the same thing. So when it fully extends, you'll hear that scary noise once again. Just go ahead and let go. And then you have your slide out two. It is gonna be for your bedroom here. Let's see if I can open this with one hand. There we go. Same thing, when you hear that noise, go ahead and let go. Then you're gonna have your awning extend and retract. So for your awning, you're gonna wanna make sure you let go when you start to see the awning flap kind of come down, and then you're gonna see the black bar it's sitting on behind it. Go ahead and let go, because that means it is fully extended. Otherwise, right here is your water pump. So like I mentioned before, with your water pump, the only time you're really gonna need to use that is for your fresh tank. And then you have your water heater switch here. So all you do is flick that on, and it's going to heat up. Moving on to your thermostat, you just choose whichever temperature you need, and then you go to your system to turn that portion on. So whether you want it to cool, so your AC, or heat, you can go ahead and flick it all the way to the left or all the way to the right. And if you want your fan, do just the second one in there. You go ahead and work your fan settings on this side, and of course off is the third slot there. There's not really a whole lot to your bedroom. You just have a little space heater in here, which I'm just going to kind of go over the buttons. Far right is going to be your power. Far left is going to be your time. Let's see where you can see that down here. So it goes all the way to 8 hours. And then one more is going to be temperature. You can crank that up. Next is going to be low and high speeds. And then you have colors. So that was just far right power, and then I just went from left to right. Oh, I missed the bathroom. I'm gonna do that first. For your bathroom, the main things for your toilet is just going to be, it's gonna be a foot flush. You just press it down, and it's going to flush. And then you're going to need two main things inside. So you're gonna need RV grade toilet paper, which is just gonna help break down easier. And then you're going to need RV grade, or not RV grade, but just toilet solution, which helps break down solids and smells, just to make sure everything flows and breaks down nice and easy so nothing clogs. Moving on, you have the same space heater up front, so all the controls I did back there will apply to this. Right here you have your radio. So you have your power, your mode, which is going to select between Bluetooth and stuff like that. Zone 1, inside speakers. Zone 2, outside speakers. Switch channels on the far right. And of course you have your volume right here. And then here are your keys. Your purple ones are going to be for your main doors. Gray ones are going to be for your baggage doors. And then the silver ones are going to be for your outside shower. Right up here, microwave, light and fan. And then inside here, click to turn on, then use press, turn to release the gas, and then use spark to ignite. Same goes for the rest of the burners. And then for your oven right here on the far right side, you're gonna wanna pay attention to, see if you can see it right back there. That's where your igniter and your gas is going to come out. So you press in, turn to the pilot symbol there. You're gonna sit there and spark, spark, spark until you see that small flame appear in the back. And when you do, just go ahead and then, not ignite it, but turn to your desired temperature. For your fridge, temperature is going to be right there on the right. So you just choose that. But I don't believe there's anything for your freezer. Nope. And then your last few things here. This is going to be your breakers and your fuses. Your breakers are all going to be labeled just like a house would be. And then your fuses here are going to be, most of them are going to be 15 amps, but I recommend bringing some along with you. Or just some extras just in case. You can pick those up at AutoZone or anything like that. And your carbon monoxide detector there, that is always going to be on just as a safety feature. So that green light is going to be always drawing power. So with that, when you shut everything off, just make sure that green light is off along with it. And if it's not, then go ahead and just take the negative end off of your battery. And then the last thing here for your AC, when people do come to a campground, they just open these up just as a quick dump to make sure everything is nice and cooled down on the inside. And when it does start to cool down, they close them. And since it's all ducted, it is then going to flow through these circles on the ceilings here. And that has been your brief orientation. If you do have any questions, please feel free to either email me, reach out, anything like that, or just go ahead and when you come in to pick this up, go ahead and write them down on a notepad and take them in with you. Other than that, that has been a fairly quick orientation, but that has been it. So congratulations, and I hope you enjoy.